Today I'm going to go out on a pasture site and we're just going to have a little mess around with the reactivity settings. I'm using the sonar program, which as you know uses reactivity 4. First of all, I want to see how deep reactivity 4 can punch. Secondly, I want to try some of the other reactivity settings using the same program. So join me in the Metal Detector Skill School. Now the targets we're listening out for is not so much the bright targets, it's the nervous targets with just a little positive spike in there. Because there's not any mineralisation in this field, as you can see by the mineralisation bar there, it's not moving at all. You'd think that the sonar program using program number 6 deep would be a good option because obviously we want to go deep, so using the most powerful program is the wise choice. But listen to this. It's far too noisy and I don't want to start making any adjustments because I know that's the filtering which is causing this. So all I'm going to do now is just go from the original sonar to the sonar made with a different platform, for example the hot program, Deus, something like that, which uses the version 5.2 filters. So it should be a little bit quieter now. And indeed it is. Let's take a quick look at the frequency, 17.2 kilohertz. Now I want to drop that down to 11 kilohertz, purely because the grass is a little bit wet and I like to use a slightly lower frequency if I'm on wet grass. And the same applies with the ORX, coin fast and coin deep. Sometimes you can't use coin deep because the ground conditions just won't allow it, whereas coin fast is your better option. And this is exactly the same as choosing Sonar 1 and Sonar 2. I've got the machine running really stable. Now the reason I've got it running stable rather than being nervous and twitchy is because I want to hear those tiny little targets. And if you've got an unstable machine, you're never going to hear them. You're just going to think they're false signals. So that's the reason I'm using the sonar program with the different platform. Now I think a lot of the problems here, why the ground is so twitchy shall we say, is because of those cows in the background. As many of you guys know, if cattle's been on the ground for many years, it does strange things to the ground. It makes it almost salty. So that's my theory anyway. So I'm using the steady platform just to cope with the ground and listen out for those tiny little squeaks. What do you think of that one? Would you dig it? Of course you would. It's out and it's round. Here we go. No idea. There's a little tip I'm going to give some of you newbies to detecting. When you dig out a plug in pasture, always make sure you go beyond the roots. So don't dig a really shallow plug and then tear all the roots. Now if you dig a nice plug and don't touch the roots, when you put the plug back, it's going to reform without any problem. If you damage the roots, there's a good chance the grass will die. That was a nice little target, but it's still not the type of target I'm looking for. Carry on a bit more. I've done about 50-50. This one sounds more like 75-25 in the iron's favour. But as a rule, if I can pinpoint it properly, it's worth a dig. Let's have a little look at it. Still not sure. Down about 9 inches now. Yep, that's what it is, look. It's a decorated button. Nice find, very nice find in fact. That'll clean up well. This target's a little bit too safe, but I can't walk away from it. Look at that straight line. Must have disturbed it. The signal's gone now, so I'm guessing it was in the edge. There it is, look. It's another one of those buttons with markings on it. Extremely small signal there, a little bit nervous, no numbers coming up at all. Nothing's changed. Let's have a little look here at reactivity. Let's go down to reactivity 2.5, see if it sounds any different. Much cleaner. Much cleaner. Okay, reactivity 3. So I'd say based on that test, there's a really big jump between reactivity 2.5 and reactivity 3. Reactivity 4. Another reason you might want to change reactivity settings is to calm the machine down, because the lower reactivity settings certainly make the machine a little bit more sparky. Let me demonstrate. At the moment we're on reactivity 4. Let me go down to reactivity 2.5 and you can hear how the machine gets very nervous. Let's go even lower. Let's go down to reactivity 1. And that just enhances the issues. So that's another reason why you may want to use higher reactivity settings to settle the machine down. If we slow the reactivity down, we get more depth, but we could quite possibly make the machine unstable. Speed it up, we get better target separation, better stability, but we may lose a little bit of depth. So it's really up to you guys to make the adjustments in the field. But one word of advice I give to anyone with a machine that can be adjusted: don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. We see so many people rushing into learning the ground balance. It's not necessary most of the time. There's other far more important settings to adjust. No meter reading, but it's just repeatable. It's just a lovely ping. Hence the sonar program. Draw it back to pinpoint it. When it disappears, it's in front of the coil. Getting a little bit of EMI there, guys. That's just from the camera. Can you see? Can you see it? It's round. Wow. Hope that thing ain't going to attack me. The killer cows. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, if indeed you still are. And I'll catch you on the next metal detecting skill school video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to get regular updates when I post new videos. But until then, happy hunting and thanks for watching.